Hi, Ivanka. Really nice to see you. And I'm glad we're talking rec strategy because for someone with your methane research plus patent pubs arc, the right letters can quietly do a lot of tipping work. I see we currently have just one recommender tracked, so we'll want to be intentional about who fills the other slots and what each person is proving about you. What part do you want to zero in on today? Choosing the best teachers, coaching them on what stories to tell, or building a balanced set, STEM plus humanities plus wildcard, for your list?
Hey Sarah, I'm particularly interested right now in identifying who should be my external recommenders, what should be my strategy to approach them, and what should I ask them to write on my recommendation letter so that it looks like a very impressive and cohesive recommendation letter in perfect alignment with my overall profile and my interest level, my passion, and stuff like that.
Ivanka, you're thinking about this exactly the right way. External recs can be rocket fuel for you because your profile isn't smart kid who did clubs. It's serious young researcher plus public communicator. Methane research patent paper AGUNSTA methane matters. The best external letters will verify that story with authority and specifics. Who your external recommenders should be, in your case, you want one primary external, strong, technical, supervised you, and one optional secondary, impact, communication, leadership, only if the school allows it. Best number one, primary. Your research supervisor who saw your work up close. Ideally, the person who can credibly say, Ivanka drove real scientific thinking, not just lab chores. That usually means doctor. Joe Hochelet, USDAU of MN, or Dr. Joe McFadden, Cornell. Whichever one can give the most first-hand detail about your initiative, independence, and intellectual horsepower behind the methane mitigation work. Best number two, secondary, only if needed, allowed. Someone who validates your translation plus leadership edge. This could be a leader connected to UNAUSA Climate Environment Toolkit work, national leadership, policy, education voice, or someone who can speak to your methane matters execution, expert interviews, audience growth, book, fundraising, POTUS VP recognition, as evidence of unusual public-facing leadership for a scientist. I'd avoid choosing an external rec from something like Fashion Atelier unless you're applying to a program where that dimension is a major part of the application. It's cool, but your tip factor is methane plus research plus communication. How to approach them? So they say yes enthusiastically. Ask for a strong, specific letter and give them a clean exit. Something like, would you feel comfortable writing me a very strong and detailed recommendation letter focused on my research contributions and independence? If you feel you can't be specific, I completely understand. Then make it easy. Offer a 20-minute call and send a tight packet more below. Also, ask 6 and 8 weeks before deadlines if possible. What you should ask them to emphasize, this is the magic. Don't ask them to say I'm passionate. That reads fluffy. Ask them to prove things admissions actually scores highly. 1. Your independence as a researcher. Did you propose a direction, troubleshoot a method, or iterate when something failed? Did you operate more like an undergrad grad student than a high school intern? 2. Your intellectual habits. The way you think. How you form hypotheses, handle uncertainty, read literature, ask sharp questions. Any moment where you surprise them, that anecdote is gold. 3. Credibility of outcomes, patent application, paper status, AGU selection. What exactly was your contribution? They should clarify authorship concept ownership without sounding like marketing. 4. Your rare combination advantage. This is where your letter can become cohesive with your whole application. Scientist plus builder plus communicator. Methane matters. Not just she cares about climate, but she turns research into systems-level action. 5. Fit for top research universities. Have them explicitly compare you. Top X% of students I've mentored. Would thrive in a research group at Stanford, MIT, JHU. Generic is fine as long as the examples are specific. The packet you send them, keep it clean and usable. Send a single PDF with 6, 8 bullet highlights you hope they cover, not a script, prompts. 2, 3 specific anecdotes they could use. You remind them, they write it in their voice. Your activities resume, 1 page. A 5, 6-line research abstract in plain English. Problem approach, what you found, why it matters. Your intended major/theme, environmental engineering, Earth systems plus methane mitigation, increasingly using AI tools. 1 concrete move to make this week. Decide who is research recommender number 1, Huxley versus McFadden. By asking for a quick call and listening for who can tell stories about you without needing reminders, then lock that person in. Before I steer you more tightly, which schools are you applying to that explicitly allow and value an external extra recommendation? And between Huxley and McFadden, who worked with you most directly day to day?